Like everyone's unmuted today.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
No, it was me. I left you all loose.
You
Watch out.
regret that.
Watch
Well, God.
No profanities. Ah, silence. Thank fuck for that. All right. Merry Christmas, everyone. When was the last time you took a big, deep breath? Do you find your shoulders are tense? Do you find your jaws tense? How much of this is unconscious? How much tension do you carry around with you? Do you think it's time that we drop this tension? Not just the physical tension, but the psychological tension. We drag so much into every moment. Every day offers a new, fresh start, complete blank canvas that doesn't ask anything to be drawn on it. There's no momentum you have to bring through. There's an illusion of continuity, that you are the same person going through some kind of timeline. There's one timeline that you're on, and you're some kind of physical body that is flying, guiding itself, following trails of crumbs, doing the best it can with the message it has, looking for teachers, looking for teachings, finding teachings, processing them, proceeding with them, using them as permission slips, really deepening as well, using these in a way that releases a lot. But it still may seem that who you are is some kind of solid entity that is moving through this, and we sit in a little rowing boat, rowing to some horizon that seems to be getting closer. One day, if I get to that horizon, then I'll put down my oars, right? Like a mirage in a desert. Nice little sparkly puddle that you can finally quench your thirst in. But what if you are the water that you seek? What if you are everything you thought you'd find over the horizon? Where does seeking become denial of a trust in yourself? Because you could end all spiritual teaching with trust the self, which isn't some abstract idea. I mean you, I don't mean the big self or whatever we call it. That is you. I mean truly the energetic vibration you feel, the energy you feel. How much do you trust yourself? How much do we find that the images on the screen can grant me some kind of safety that's outside of me, whether that's a spiritual teaching, whether that's some kind of final enlightenment, whether that's a horizon that will come. It's always the next moment that I'll make this decision. Once everything is figured out, then I'll make the decision for happiness or joy. But you'll spend an eternity waiting for the mirror to reflect back to you what you're giving it. Happiness is a decision just prior to all circumstances. And the circumstances are taking their cue out of what you want out of life. So we can row our little boat as far as we can until we see that right now we can decide instantly, scarily instantly. This is the fear. Anyone can be on a spiritual path. It's just the same as chasing becoming the greatest CEO, becoming the richest person. It's the same thing. It's still a material good. Spirituality becomes a bypass of deciding right now exactly what you want. So nothing ever gets processed, nothing ever gets counseled or therapied out of you. You get all therapied out until you're sick of the duration of healing. Healing isn't done to you that stays the same. You just finally drop the story of needing to be healed. That is the healing itself. There's a perception of self that says, I need something, whether that's a fix, a resolution, your energy centers need balanced. What other stepping stones do we have? I have repressed emotions under the surface. These are all viable things. They're stepping stones. But this isn't a meeting for spirituality anymore. This is the new energy. This is a deeper maturity and responsibility. In the moment you're triggered, is the moment I do my job. We don't want to be on healing journeys rowing our boat over horizon, because we know the horizon goes on until you find yourself back in the same place on the planet in another incarnation. We can plow these fields of healing 50, 60 lifetimes. But the one which you stop the healing for a moment of outside yourself, of someday, when I do enough healing, then I'll be free. To realizing that you can plow that same patch of land over and over, to start to realize maybe the true healing is the perception of being broken. It's a lens. So we take a picture of ourselves, not knowing that it's not the self that's broken, it's the lens. So whatever you take a photo of, everything seems broken, right? But my lens could be different to yours. This person's could be different to theirs. As soon as you see through the lens of the beliefs we hold about ourselves, suddenly we realize, why did I feel a need to heal myself? Why did I feel a need to buy into a perception that who I am needed something outside myself? Why is there something outside me that will fix me? Even if that's me doing my little teachings and my little practices on my sofa at home, couch. This is a lot more powerful than that. This isn't an ending of the seeking. This is an ending of watching videos. There is something actually that's being resolved here. It's not hopeless. It's actually all the powers in your hand to realize it's a decision just prior to this durational timeline that becomes a momentum of deciding. So each day we wake up and we decide, do I want to see myself as broken and then try and work on this broken project? Or do I want to see as my project, my only project, is to keep letting go and questioning the beliefs that come up saying you need to be something other than who you are? If you want a project, that is the most efficient one in this energy, is the decision you're deciding for yourself. Because you could ask, And I ask this to a lot of people, do you even want to be healed? Do we even, if someone's to offer you, you have to say yes, but you'd have to give up all of the stories, all of the juice. It's so addictive, this game. This isn't the end of the journey. This isn't the end of your mastery. You're going to become deeper and deeper masters. This isn't, when I say, you know, there's nothing to do, there's no one here, this whole bypass, that's one section of spirituality. This is taking full responsibility for what do we truly, truly actually want. Do we want to be on a healing journey all day? Or do we just want to see that it's a decision, the power of our decision to let go of that which doesn't serve us anymore, which includes stories of one day. Right? Patience is a word for the 20th century. This is a mastery of the balance between patience and the willingness to free yourself. No one can free you because there's only you here. So if you're being patient, what are you waiting for? Imagine looking into a mirror and waiting for it to smile back. Do you see how insane this is? Right? So this isn't like, oh, there's nothing to do, this is hopeless. This is just waiting for the mirror to be hopeless. That's what's hopeless. This isn't indulgence. This isn't me and my trauma that I need to work through and work through. If I work through it enough, my future self is on the other side of that trauma. The only trauma is thinking you have to work through something over and over again. Sure, there are beings that maybe don't want enlightenment too much, right? They haven't incarnated for mastery. They've incarnated just to go through some other themes. And so there's trauma work, there's these things, but I take full trust that you're here for mastery. I don't think you're here just to get good at Western trauma work. So we can lay the foundation for somatic work, right? We're not bypassing sensations. We're not bypassing that there is uncomfortable sensations in the body. But all that sensations are manifestations of beliefs. So why do we go always simply to the sensation without looking at the fuel of these sensations? You can try and put out the fire all day and sit with the fire all day. I'm going to feel it and feel it. Why don't you just turn off the tap of the fuel? Why don't you turn off the gas? This is what I'm interested in. So this is why somatic work does have its place, because you can sit with the fire, right? You can sit with it and feel it and transmute the fire. Or you can just go, oh, that was easy. Do you see how quick it is? We create these stories of long durations, you know? So what we're afraid of is never sitting with things. We all sit with everything. This is a bit of a disease of this generation, is just kind of indulging in stories. Story this, story that. I'm broken, I've been traumatized, this. We honor them, but we release them. There's a big difference between holding space, which is like an oven. It's a container that doesn't want it. It doesn't want to keep it. It will hold it gently, but it will say, do I need this? Is this serving me? Is this story serving me? Or is it actually quite juicy, these stories? Because I like being a victim. I used to love being a victim. I could blame my father for making me feel a certain way, right? Or my girlfriend for texting someone behind my back. Look how you're making me feel. I was like 15. But you can only be affected by what you buy into. Sure, people can do things which will have a seeming sensation, but do you really want to be at the power of images on the screen? You're indestructible, infinite beings. Who cares if someone texts someone, right? Or who cares, whatever your thing is, you are under no laws but your own of what you're affected by. Because everything is just you. Testing to see if you're convicted enough to stay within yourself rather than go to the images for safety. Go to the images for energy, little energy vampires, sucking the energy out of all the images. Little thieves in the night. This person gives me safety, this person gives me this person gives me that. The funny thing is, most of you here on the other end of that, because you're masters. And people always say, well, I'm not a master, I'm just into no, you're masters, because you're in the frequency and you're not repelled by it, so you're masters. The masters don't wear robes in the 21st century. They wear knitted jumpers or red turtlenecks or white t-shirts. They wear whatever, but they're in their frequency of authenticity. We're like undercover. And so we play ourselves down and we're getting sucked the energy out sometimes. So that's the balance between seeing nothing can affect you, which you don't agree to, but still the images on the screen which will be testing your conviction, they'll be looking to you for energy. They'll find often, if you're not affected by what they're doing, maybe you're not interested in their conversations, maybe you're not interested in this stuff, they go, that's not what humans are supposed to act like. You're supposed to be affected by me. So the mastery here is going, well, I can honor you, but I don't have to change who I am. I don't have to look away at all of who I am. So you have a bird, and the bird flies with two wings, right? Everything in nature has symmetry, which is beautiful. So if we have the willingness to sit with things, the feminine quality of surrender, the feminine quality on one wing, and we have the focus on the other, which I don't really now see the two energies as different. I see them as a play between the two, but in this concept, we have all beings are basically birds, balancing the two wings until a true master can fly straight ahead and have the discernment, the focus, the knowing of what it doesn't serve them on one hand, and the focus to stay in themselves, and the love and the embrace and the surrender on the other. This is what everyone's so good at, sitting with things. But now we're just pushing it into this new focus, which doesn't take, it takes a lot more to take someone out of the focus of what they want, their authenticity of who they are, what they allow to come into their energy field, what they allow to test them. Really, it's all one big test of your conviction. It's just you've forgotten the test, maybe. It doesn't even matter to remember the test. Every image on the screen is a swirling test to see if you're going to step out of yourself, either for safety in the images, for safety in validation, for safety in anything that isn't you.